Well, howdy. Done share some news with you. Some good news and some bad news for the coal industry. Not so much here, but and also it's very sad news for the steel industry that I want to share with you in this little video. This is on the datacenterdynamics.com website. You guys have heard me talk about Robena Mine in the past. Robena was at one time one of the largest mining complexes in the world in the 1950s and 1960s. They are located, their prep plant and their harbor that they had there, and where they went down into the mine at one of the first portal is located right next to our harbor. Anyway, Consol owns it now, which is now Core Natural Resources is Consol now. There's 1,400 acres there. It's a big place. The former Robena Mine site. There's the U.S. Natural Gas Utility Company, Central Utilities, has partnered with Pittsburgh energy supplier International Electric Power, and they are going to build a data center there. How about that? This is if the project were to go ahead. Apparently, they have an agreement in place to purchase the land. The construction phase create more than 1,000 jobs. That's pretty cool. The one thing about it is to get down to Robena, it's going to require crossing our tracks. There's no other way to get down there to where the prep plant was, and I assume that's where they're going to put the data center. It's a pretty big area. Okay, so that's good news. I don't know what that means for us. That crossing currently we have at Robena is a private road. There's only a couple vehicles a day that go over that road. I don't know what that means for our track. See, the Robena was once the largest mechanized coal mine in the U.S. The site of one of the biggest mining disasters. Also, that was in December of 1962. That occurred at the Frosty Run Shaft, and several of my classmates lost their dads that night. I will tell you a story about that night. One of my good friends, his dad was a midnight shift, and before that shift, he just had this very, very strong feeling inside him not to go that night. So he called off, and that saved his life. How about that? Okay, we'll start this over. While I'm on this subject, this is where Robena, over in here, it's off the pictures, where they went down into the mine and where the coal came out. The prep plant was right in here. This whole big block was a prep plant. This right here is the water treatment plant for our mine. And the pipeline goes up along this road and out here and then up to the tracks. This road was an access road up into the slate pile. There was a big bin right in here. That's where they loaded the slate out and hauled it up there. These are settlement ponds, and all of this round back in here and way back through here, Robena was part of the 1,400 acres. That's a big spot. Anyway, our harbor is over to our right. This is where they loaded the barges. They loaded standard barges, and they could load a standard barge 800 tons in the barge in 7 to 8 minutes. Actually watched them do that a couple times. After many years, probably in 1975, 76, 76, They built a barge unloader here. Robena or Dilworth Mine was way downriver. They brought coal up here from Dilworth, unloaded it, ran it through the prep plant, put it back on barges, and back down the river. So Dilworth didn't have to build a prep plant. They built that barge unloader there. Anyway, this is a fairly old picture because this is Hatfield Power Station, and 2 years ago it was demolished. There's nothing left there. Everything is gone. I have some videos on that I made of the cooling towers getting imploded and smokestacks coming down. Anyway, right here on this side of the river, that's Norfolk Southern's Loveridge secondary tracks. Okay, CSX also has trackage rights on it. How about that? So that's where I'm assuming the proposed data center is going to go, in this area here. Well, this isn't very good news. This is in Yahoo Finance. Just came out today. What today? October 21st. So sorry about that. October 21st. Cleveland Cliffs will permanently close its Steelton, PA plant, one of only 3 major domestic producers of track rail in the U.S. Served by Norfolk Southern, was idled in June due to weak demand and depressed pricing, the company said. Okay. Steel Dynamics in Fort Wayne and Pueblo, Colorado's Orion Steel are the only remaining producers of heavyweight rail in the U.S. The closing of Steelton, who's owned by Cleveland Cliffs, is scheduled for January 13th, 2026, to eliminate 500 jobs. Not good at all. Not good at all. Anyway, I wanted to have a good friend, Michael, lives out there, used to work at Steelton. We tried, he tried, I tried through him to set up a tour of the Steelton plant there about a year and a half ago. And even though he worked there, they would not return his phone calls. So I really wanted to see that. We was planning on hoping that we could get to tour that, but just didn't happen. I guess it never will happen. Anyway, Michael used to work there, and he did some measuring with the rail when it was rolled, and he was going to do a video for us on how to measure rail. How he did it. Look at this. So that's not good news, but I don't think Freddie really cares one way or the other. Although he kind of like his heat lamp there pushed a little bit back closer to him. Huh. Okay, we bought quite a bit of rail off of Steelton. It's only about a 4-hour trucking distance from us. So, okay. Hate to see that, but, well, this might be interesting. Doesn't sound very good. Published October 19th. Today is October 19th, 2025. And this was published in Forbes magazine. Doesn't sound very good. The coal economy is imploding in Russia. Thermal coal prices down nearly 80% from their 2022 peak, and over half of Russia's producers now losing money. Okay. This tells you how much, 2.8 billion. Of course, that's rubles, but listen, look at this. 23 coal companies, this is in Russia, about 13% of the national total have already shut down. Another 53 are at risk. Once Russia's fourth largest export, coal has now become its worst performing industry in more than 30 years. There you go, executive of Russian coal. That's what he says. Not good. Putin admitted that coal producers having a tough time. Reason is brutally simple. Logistic costs have soared, rising from 50 to almost 90% of the coal's final price. Okay. Government rescue plan was signed, but only limited tax deferrals. Let's go on down here. This is what I wanted to show you. According to the World Bank, coal prices are forecast to fall roughly 27% in 2025, and again in 2026. Now, that does not say whether it's worldwide. Not very good news. Okay, I said you can read this article at Forbes magazine. Forbes. It's a long article. There's a lot involved. I'm certainly not going to read it all, but wanted to share that with you there. Okay.